Okay, apologies. I got hung up at the very end of that last video. So this is right here. This is right here. And notice we started at a pH fairly low and we jumped up a little bit. Jumped up because it became more basic or less acidic. Alright? I got moving too fast and actually got screwed up, so I apologize. Now, here's the deal. At this point, the pH was about 2.7. You've got the initial jump that occurs. A few people ask me about why this initial jump occurs. The initial jump occurs because now all of a sudden you have something besides HAC in there, or HA, and you're starting to add a substantial amount of A's because those A's are now being produced as we react the HAs and make A's. So there's this initial bump. So this pH fairly low at 2.7. By here, we find that the pH is about 4.0 something. Now, if we continue to add sodium hydroxide, what you're going to find is that that's still not going to change very much all through the buffer region. So when I give you the same problem worksheet as we did before with the strong acid, if I do it here with the weak acid, what you're going to find is that pH will vary very little, maybe over the course of about 1 pH unit or 10, a power of 10 concentration of acids, or H0 plus, over that entire buffer region. Can you see the buffer region? Or is that outside? Yeah, there you go. All right. So if you look over that entire brown region at the top, this is going to be vertigo. If you look at the brown region, the buffer region, the pH is barely going to change over the course of that buffer region. So in other words, as you go through and change the amount of HAC and Ha, or HA, Ha, and Ah, it's still going to be fairly close together, even though you're neutralizing all the Ha, because you're producing more Ah, and so it'll keep the buffer. It'll buffer over that entire stretch. We'll discuss that more later. Hopefully this is helpful. I apologize for any inconsistencies. Doesn't want to stop.